Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. You all, it seems like we're trapped in an interminable circle of enduring Diddy series. What's more, it's not dialing back in light of the fact that the federal authorities just revealed some proof that Diddy supposedly exploited entertainer Bryshere Dim, and that Bryshere could possibly be another of Diddy's casualties yet. Get this! It appears as though Diddy was supposedly labeled with Bryshere and Will Smith. And it seems to be Will isn't precisely guiltless in this show yet, hang on the grounds that that is not the end of it. The roads are presently humming with claims that Diddy purportedly did likewise to the rapper White K.O. Cyrus, this show just got into high stuff, and it's getting more out of control than anyone might have expected. Okay, so assuming you felt that the enduring Diddy adventure was slowing down, reconsider since things just got much more extreme for the last year. Claims have been descending upon Diddy from all sides, and there have been murmurs that more people would move forward to talk on his sketchy conduct. Well, those murmurs were right on the money since entertainer Bryshere Dark just approached with some serious cases that he didn't come alone. He brought along rapper Osiris and entertainer Orlando Brown, who additionally asserted that they were supposedly ace by Diddy now. Bryshere claims that Diddy and Will Smith supposedly constrained him into some genuinely problematic circumstances that he never pursued. He's prepared to share his side of the story, joining Cassie Lil Pole and different ladies who have valiantly stood up, yet assuming you've been paying consideration. You could have found out about this a long time back when a visually impaired thing dropped hint that few young fellows in the business were equipping to go public about their encounters with Diddy. Individuals have been pondering what has been going on with Bryshere and why he out of nowhere vanished from the business. The person had a strong vocation on target. After he featured a domain and everyone thought he was going to take off, yet rather than taking off he recently disappeared, leaving all of us confounded about how he figured out how to meddle with those large open doors. Well, it turns out Bryshere's exit wasn't precisely willful, cause word in the roads is that he supposedly got boycotted when everything went somewhere around. As a matter of fact, Will Smith Diddy, and the tattle is that when everything went down since Bryshere attempted to pull out of some obscure exercises, they were pushing on him stuff he never pursued in front of all comers, and Will and Diddy weren't going to allow him to leave solid, so they supposedly got him boycotted. And you may be considering how Bryshere finished up in the circumstance. However, here's the origin story. When he was only a young stir, he met with Charlie Mack, an ability supervisor. Charlie attached Bryshere with an tryout for domain, and he totally nailed it in what would seem like no time. He was in LA featuring in the show with Charlie as his supervisor, much to his dismay that it was simply the start of a wild ride in the industry. Well, Charlie ended up being the ideal director for Bryshere thanks to his great associations in Hollywood. This person was the genuine article, and he acquainted Bryshere with some significant individuals in the business, including Will Smith. Brel and D will become friends right away, which isn't shocking considering Bryschere's execution on domain turned into a good example for Bryshere. And they played out Team and T-Bond that look perfect on paper. Who wouldn't need direction from one of industry's top canines, right? However, here's where things got a minimal muddled. Will thought Bryshere had a potential as a rapper, and not similarly as an entertainer. And this was wonderful in light of the fact that Bryshere had consistently left undead for being a rapper, not an entertainer. He just tried out for Realm, since it was music-driven show, and he figured it would give his rap profession a lift. In addition to We Should Be Genuine, the check from Domain was a great reward, and he certainly required that money, so with Will as his coach, they organized a gathering with Diddy. Now Diddy is a key part in the rap world, and it appeared to be a once-in-a-lifetime chance for Bryshere's vocation, or possibly it ought to have been. Thinking back, how ever knowing what we know now about Diddy and Will, those warnings ought to have been waving like insane. However, in those days, no one had a hint about the skeletons concealing in Diddy. Furthermore, Will's storerooms. Yet for some unique situation, there have been reports for more than 20 years that Diddy and Will were on the DL. Different individuals in the business have blamed them for doing inappropriate things to different men in the business. For model Alexis Arrett, who knew Will on an individual level, spilled the tea that Will's most memorable union with Cherie Zampino finished in light of the fact that Cher got him in bed with the man Alexis composed. When Jada emerges as gay and her hairy spouse concedes his most memorable marriage finished when she strolled into him overhauling his sugar daddy, Benny Medina, then I will pay attention to them. She being his most memorable spouse paid off. Quiet Alexis ARKCK wasn't the only one to spill tea on Will, because Puma W stepped in to share a few mysteries. She claims that Will has had illicit relationships with different, more youthful men in the business, saying he professes to guide them, yet then purportedly pressures them into connections that leave them damaged, and young fellows have left their home. Shouting to get away from them in their mentorship, Sheer Dim went out. Shouting August, the one in particular that remained. And I surmise he was truly sicky required to do in a bluster against Will's significant other. Jada Trisha Discharge called Will out for supposedly driving her male artists to lay down with him. How about stress over your cheating spouse, my male artist? You know, at the point when they would rather not talk about that. Likewise, do you all recall the time when the government specialists were investigating Diddy for purportedly doing unspeakable things to more youthful men in the business back in 2013? There were reports that Diddy was being examined by government organizations continuing with young fellows, as per the reports during a post-op interview meeting with government examiners. James Roseman, the music supervisor, turned cocaine head boss, was supposedly examined regarding the sexual inclinations of performers, counting whether Shady D Combs was having close connections with underage young men as per a U.S. region court documenting. Then came Cassie's sensation claim, which was the first time we truly got a look into Diddy's confidential world. And it was not pretty. It turns out that Diddy had a thing for male escorts, and Cassie uncovered stunning insights concerning some truth. Lie wild capers that she got snagged into what Diddy called freak-offs, agreeing to Cassie Diddy would enlist these male accompanies and coer her into cozy experiences with them, while he sat back furthermore. Had fun, however, he wasn't simply an onlooker, he played the chief, guiding her and how to make it happen to these men during these purported freak-offs. To make things significantly more chaotic, Diddy's previous guardian, Gene Bargan, chosen to spill tea of his own. He CLA that Diddy wasn't simple. I watching from the sidelines that he was a functioning member in these oddity hits the fairway. And Gene happened to an edge that Diddy even gave Cassie a shopping rundown to view as the wonderful escort, yet it wasn't really for her satisfaction. Everything revolved around Diddy's, and she say that. You know, in this claim that Diddy, he appreciated observing her get crushed by BBCs. So you know your opinion on that. Do you think she was the only one getting bang-bombed? Do you think this man and this lady look for wars online only for them to engage in sexual relations with her? Yet here's what: Cassie wasn't the only one messed up in Diddy freak-offs. Rumors from far and wide suggest that he had additionally had a few wild ventures with Will Smith. Yes, you heard me appropriate, for quite a long time. This has been the gossip proposing that Will and Diddy were low-key involved, supposedly enjoying freak-offs for a very long time. And at first fans disregarded it, thinking Will and Jada were the ideal picture couple. What's more, it was basically impossible that he would do that yet. Incidentally, things weren't as sweet in the Smith family as we suspected, cause Jay herself uncovered that she and Will had really been isolated for some time. And abruptly these bits of gossip about Diddy and Will conceivably being something other than companions acquired some serious footing. Was just in 2016, you and Will D concluded that you planned to live totally different lives. It was anything but a separation on paper. However, it was a separation so from the year 2016, which is a long time back. Now, yes, you all have been art, better believe it. Then we figured out that Di wasn't the main man that Will was supposedly getting jiggy with, and cuz as per Will's previous partner and long-lasting companion, below there was likewise a little something going on among Will and entertainer Dwayne Martine. Bo plunked down with Tasha K and dropped the stunner that he really got Will and Dwayne getting it on in Dwayne's changing area. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, hello, you got eyes on Willio. Yeah, got we really want him to come watch this, so I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his changing area. I go to the cafe. I'm like, yet I see his vehicle there. I'm like, where is this person? As indicated by reports, anything that will have happened with Dwayne was nothing compared with the out-and-out freak celebration he supposedly had with Diddy. We should disentangle this Will Smith's mentorship web with Bryshere on the grounds that it's really strange Will associated Diddy and Bryshere. However, it wasn't simply a basic presentation with a mentorship as a main priority. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Bryshere will pitch not just as a potential protege, but in addition as a potential player in their oddity offs the word in the roads. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.